Good morning, Vaqueros. Today is Monday, September 16th, and it's currently 87 degrees outside. We are coming to you from our Edinburgh studio. I'm Mariana Galladro.
And I am Celeste Cruz.
And this is Vaquero News.
Campus news,
Events, games,
and activities.
all in one place.
This is Vaquero Radio,
The Val Student Station.
Monday and Wednesday at 11 a.m.
Vaquero Radio.
where
Where your story begins.
Dr. Cristel Escalona provides helpful tips for students' well-being, such as what vitamins students should consume and what health plans they should follow. Here's Celeste Cruz with the tips. Having great health is an important factor for academic success, according to a UTRGV School of Medicine associate professor who offered wellness advice. Dr. Cristel Escalona, an assistant professor of pediatrics for the Division of Women's and Children's Health and the board-certified pediatrician at UT Health RGV, provided information on ways people can prevent getting ill.
The best way to prevent getting sick is good hand washing, right? People always forget to wash their hands.
She also mentioned the types of supplements people can take in order to have a strong immune system.
I take probiotics. I really like them. I think it keeps my immune system strong and it's helpful, for digestive issues as well. Multivitamins are also nice. People should consider, especially like if you don't eat like a really well-rounded diet.
She also advised people to improve their diet routine.
Just make sure that like half of what's on your plate belongs to a plant, whether in the form of a salad or broccoli, that you're just getting it in there, because overall, over time, you'll be a better and healthier human. Most of the illnesses that you develop when you're old, like me, are driven by the choices of what it is that you ate.
She also recommended Tylenol or ibuprofen when people have the flu or a fever.
If you're sick, make sure that you stay nice and hydrated. So if it's just simple water, that's fine. If you want to be fancy and buy one of those like liquid IV powders, if you have vomiting and you can't hold anything down, you should go to the clinic.
Escalona said it is essential to exercise at least 5 times a week in order to have a better health.
It's good for your mental health. It dissipates anxiety, and it does make you healthier overall. It makes your immune system stronger because your entire body is healthy, and so it kind of like promotes health.
She suggested going to a student health center for a checkup at least once a year and keeping up to date with vaccinations. In case of a fever or another illness, students can visit the student health center. The clinic also has a pharmacy.
But just so that you guys know, you pay for student health. If you're a enrolled student, even like part-time, I think they have access to the clinic. You can see the doctors there 800 times, whatever. There's no cost because you pay like a flat fee. So this flat fee covers however many visits it is that you need.
For more information about the UT Health RGV Student Health Clinic, visit its website at UTRGV Health Services or call 665-2511 in Edinburgh and 882-3896 in Bronzeville. The clinic in Edinburgh is located at 613 North Sugar Road and in Cortes Hall, Suite 237 in Bronzeville. This is Celeste Cruz for Vaquero Radio. Thoughts of suicide affect people worldwide. September is a National Suicide Prevention Month, a time to spread awareness about this topic. Here is Victoria Gonzalez with the story.
National Suicide Prevention Month is observed every September to emphasize efforts of treatment and resources for individuals affected by emotional crisis, as well as remembering the lives lost. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 49,000 people died from suicide in 2022. That's about one death every 11 minutes. UTRGV Counseling Center Director Christopher Albert said, "Suicide is a human behavior that is hard to study because it's often hidden. However, he said a common sign of suicidal ideation is a noticeable change in a person's behavior."
More isolated, they're talking less, they're talking negatively, especially if they say things like, oh, I might as well just give up, and giving some indication that they feel like they don't want to live anymore.
But a person's mood could change oppositely in some cases. Albert said that someone who has struggled with something they feel overwhelmed with for so long may elevate their mood temporarily.
In their minds, they think, oh, well, I can just kill myself, and that will be the way to get out of this, and so they feel a sense of relief.
Aaron Worthington, an officer of Active Minds, an organization that focuses on the importance of mental health, said to not leave someone alone who may be in danger of suicide.
They think that I have no friends, I'm just alone, I have nobody to support me. So it's really a good thing when students be there for each other and to support each other and to tell one another, you are not alone, we're here for you.
Albert said asking the question, have you been thinking about suicide, and approaching the situation with genuine concern can help bridge someone struggling to get the professional help they need.
When we ask the question, we are sending the message that it's okay to talk about it. And we know that once a person starts talking about what's behind their suicidal thoughts and urges, that immediately starts lowering that risk for suicide.
Only 50% of suicide cases are linked to clinical depression, Albert said. Mental health is not the only factor that puts people at risk for suicide. He said issues like psychosis and neurological conditions can affect a person. He said people communicate suicidal thoughts differently. Some may say it in a, quote, almost comical, offhand type of way, end quote, because they may feel uncomfortable reaching out directly.
For example, they could be concerned about the response they get, that people won't take them seriously and so forth. So anytime that someone brings up the words like, I think I want to kill myself or anything like that, it's important to take that seriously and, to ask and do it in an area where they're more likely to open up, for example, in a private area.
Getting involved when someone mentions thoughts of suicide or depression is what Worthington believes to be an appropriate time.
That is when we should try to intervene as much as possible because we are not there in the household. We don't know what happens outside what we know or what they told us.
While it's important to ask about suicide, the manner of tone matters. Albert said it is essential not to ask in a shameful way such as, quote, you're not having suicidal thoughts, are you, end quote.
We want to do anything possible to lower that shame because shame makes us hide. And again, if we hide, we don't talk about it, we deny it, and then we don't get that opportunity to lower that risk and get the help that we need.
There is a stigma around seeking help for emotional crises. Albert explained this could be from an individual's experience of how they grew up or their personality. He said some say reaching out for help signifies weakness, but getting assistance can often signify strength because it takes a lot of courage to do so. Worthington encouraged those who are afraid to reach out for help to find peer support groups and activities for guidance. He believes that anyone can be prone to suicide.
There's no simple classification of people, no matter what race, no matter what gender, no matter what ethnicity, anybody can be vulnerable to suicide.
Self-harm behaviors such as cutting parts of someone's body may not do it with suicidal intent, but rather to cope with the experiences they have while they're living, according to Albert. He said some people describe cutting as, quote, a release of tension they feel inside, end quote. Oftentimes, there's not a clear divide between what is suicidal and what is not. Albert described when to intervene when self-injury becomes dangerous.
So a person may say or think, I'm not doing this to kill myself, but then that same person may later feel really bad about something. And because they've been relying on self-injury and now they feel worse, all of a sudden they become kind of suicidal, right? Or at least they're not caring whether they live or die. When they self-injure at that time, it could be more serious.
Albert said trying to help someone who is suicidal is one of the toughest yet most important things to do in life because it involves life or death. He said if someone is planning on committing suicide and resisting assistance from close friends or family, then bring in external help such as police or a counselor. Students experiencing suicidal ideation can visit the Counseling Center in University Center Room 109 on the Edinburgh campus or Student Union Room 2.10 on the Brownsville campus. Timely Care is an app available to students that gives them access to 24/7 mental health services. The Vaquero Crisis Line phone number is 665-5555. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 988. This is Victoria Gonzalez for Vaquero Radio.
And McLean goes up and throws down a monster dunk. That fires up the UTRGV Fieldhouse.
And now time for Vaquero Sports.
The Vaqueros lost against Texas Tech Red Raiders after a tough game last Thursday at the UTRGV Fieldhouse. Jan Trejo has the latest.
The UTRGV women's volleyball team failed 3-2 in its home opener last Thursday against Texas Tech University at the Fieldhouse, with 2,711 people in attendance. The Vaqueros were neck-to-neck during the first set, making it difficult for both teams to have more than a 3-point lead. The first set of the match ended with a 25-21 victory, with senior outsider hitter Claudia Lupescu making key plays that defined the set. In the second set, UTRGV continued to keep a close score, with Texas Tech trying not to let the visitors get ahead. The Raiders tied tied the game 24-24 after a kill by Texas Tech graduate outsider hitter Mia Wesley. The Vaqueros were able to win the second set of the game, finishing 26-24 after a kill and an ace by Lopescu. Texas Tech reacted strongly and took control of the third set with a 4-point lead, finishing 25-21 after a strong performance by Wesley, who made crucial kills for the team. After a tough fourth set, Texas Tech tied the game 2-2. The set ended 25-23, giving the Vaqueros a difficult time to catch up. In the last set, UTRGV fell short, despite a strong effort against Texas Tech, which held their lead the entire set. The set ended 15-11 in favor of the Raiders. Texas Tech junior middle blocker Breen Williams making 3 crucial kills to seal the victory. Head coach Todd Lowry shared his thoughts about the game.
First, hats off to the crowd. What an awesome crowd, and stuck with it through the whole match. It's hard to fight back 8-1 in the fifth and to make a run like they did at the end. I thought they did a great job just fighting.
Lowry also spoke about the mindset the Vaqueros need to have for the next game.
Yeah, I think the mentality is next up. Whether we would have won this match or lost this match, we got to find a way to drag ourselves out of the beds in the morning and come back and do it all over again.
Lupescu, who finished with 25 kills and 59 total attacks, explained what she needs to improve for the next game.
Just to stay calm mentally and just to keep having that mentality of, okay, you don't just go to one spot, you go to different shots and so on, as coach said, and just be smart with my hand.
The Vaqueros will compete against Texas Tech University at 11 a.m. Saturday in El Paso. For more information, visit goutrgb.com. This is Jan Trejo for Vaquero Radio.
New drop straight back. There's a crossing route. McCaffrey. Touchdown. That's big time.
Hey Vaqueros, I hope you're having an amazing day. Here's their sports schedule for this week. The men's soccer team will be on the road against Houston Christian University at 7 p.m. Wednesday. Our next game will be at 6:30 p.m. Friday. The volleyball team will compete in the UTEP Southwest Showdown in El Paso. Another game that you don't want to miss is the volleyball team will compete again on Saturday at 11 a.m. against Texas State University in El Paso. And last but not least, the men's soccer team will play against Oral Roberts University at 7 p.m. in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We encourage you to attend to all of these games and support our student athletes. This is Jan Trejo for Vaquero Radio. And remember, bees up!
And now for this week's events calendar.
Hi Vaqueros, let's jump into this week's events calendar. The Rec will host a Zumba class from 5:30 to 6:15 p.m. on Monday. The Robert C. Vaquero College of Business and Entrepreneurship will hold a Get Involved fair at 12 p.m. Wednesday at the Edinburgh College of Business and Entrepreneurship Fountain Area. The Center for Student Involvement will have a volunteer fair in Brownsville at 12 p.m. Thursday at the BMSLC Courtyard. Check out UTRGV's V-Link for more information about these events. We hope to see you there. This is Joseph Zambrano for Vaquero Radio. And remember, V's up. And now, for this week's campus weather report.
Hello everyone, let's jump into this week's weather forecast. Expect some early showers and scattered thunderstorms with a high of 92 degrees on Monday. We clear it from the rain on Tuesday with some sunshine and a high of 93 degrees. Sunny skies will appear on Wednesday with a high near 95 degrees. A few clouds on Thursday with a high coming up to 95 degrees. Many sunny skies on Friday with a peak of 96 degrees. Make sure to dress accordingly with these weather conditions. This is Victoria Gonzalez for Vaquero Radio.
That is the newscast for this week.
Don't forget to check our columns where you can read the opinions of our staff on anything and everything. You can also read our news stories on our website, utrgvradio.com.
Tune in to Vaquero Radio on our website for the best DJ shows around campus. Also, don't forget to visit our YouTube channel for our latest news from UTRGV and the Valley.
Our weekly newscast will also be broadcasted at 11 a.m. every Wednesday.
Join us next week. Same time, same place.
Only on Vaquero Radio, the Valley's student station.
Thanks for tuning in, Vaqueros. Don't forget to saddle up every Monday and Wednesday at 11 a.m. And remember, V's up!